Okay, good morning, everyone. Before we start our session for today, we kindly invite you to please use the virtual background for your camera and turn on your camera. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are truly delighted to welcome all of you to today's online session of the Visiting Professor Program 2025 with the theme Epidemiology Approach on Chronical Disease Control Update. Even though we meet virtually, we are honored to have your presence here with us today.
Let us first give our warmest greetings to our distinguished guest, the Honorable Dean of the Faculty of Public Health, Universitas Diponegoro, Dr. Budiono, PSPH, MPH.
Vice Deans and all academic staff of Faculty of Public Health, Universitas Diponegoro.
Head of Epidemiology and Tropical Disease Department, Dr. Martini, MPH.
Our outstanding speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Malina Osman, Bachelor of Science in Medicine, Doctor of Medicine, Master of Community Health, and of course, all our wonderful participants from various institutions. Welcome once again to the Visiting Professor Program 2025 Epidemiology Approach on Chronical Disease Control Update. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we officially start today's event, let's take a moment to pause and pray together. Okay, please join us in this moment of prayer. Prayer begins. Prayer ends. All right, thank you everyone. Before we go further, we would like to introduce ourselves as the host for today. Hello everyone, my name is Nabila Guswi and here is my partner.
Thank you, Nabila. Hello, everyone. My name is Atika Fazlina, and we are truly honored to serve as your Master of Ceremony for today's event. We hope you are as excited as we are for today's sharing sessions.
Okay, to uplift the spirit of this event, we would like to invite everyone to respectfully join in singing our national anthem, Indonesia Raya. To the committee in charge, please kindly share the screen.
Indonesia tanah airku, tanah tumpah darahmu. Di sanalah aku berdiri, jadi pandu ibumu. Indonesia kebangsaanku, bangsa dan tanah airku. Marilah kita bersatu, Indonesia bersatu. Hiduplah tanahku, hiduplah negeriku, bangsaku, rakyatku semuanya. Bangunlah jiwanya, banggalah badannya, untuk Indonesia Raya. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, tanahku, negeriku yang ku cinta. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, tanahku, negeriku yang ku cinta. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya.
All right, thank you everyone for your participation.
Okay, before we continue with our program, we will have a welcoming speech from the head of Epidemiology and Tropical Disease Department. We are pleased to invite Dr. Martini, MPH, to deliver the remarks. To Dr. Martini, the screen is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my voice is clear. My voice is clear. Dek.
Yes, Miss.
Yeah, okay. Bismillahirrohmanirrohim. the Honorable of the Dean of Public Health, and the Honorable our guest lecturer this morning, Associate Professor Dr. Malina Osma. She is from UPM, University Putra Malaysia. The respectable moderator today, Ibu Mita Nurrohimah, SKMM EPID. And then all of the respectable lecturers of public health, my friends, beloved my friends, and then the respectable student on public health bachelor program, also student magister and the doctoral program, and also all the participants in the University of Diponegoro, also the other university that already joined in this platform. Yeah, and also the beloved of the committee, our student. Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ya, good morning. Ya, salam sehat in Indonesia. Alhamdulillah, Hirobil Alamin. First of all, of course, let us give utmost gratitude towards God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Almighty for His love and blessing so that we can meet by Zoom platform in this morning on the scientific lecture. Wonderful opportunity, yeah, in this moment. I'm Dr. Martini. I'm head Department of Epidemiology and Tropical Disease, Faculty of Public Health, cover with the interest of epidemiology and also health entomology. All of my students in the below of the department. Yeah. And then thank you for the dean. Yeah. Because he is giving us all of facilities to improve our knowledge, our skill, especially in this moment. We have the program of visiting professor. You know all that the visiting professor in this year, we had the second visiting professor, provide in online, also offline platform. Yeah, and then thank you for the expert today, Dr. Malina Osman, that you your time that you give us about the knowledge with about the topic today. Yeah, the epidemiology approach in the chronic diseases and control, and how to the epidemiology approach to implement the solve the problem in our public health setting. Yeah, it is I think it's in the update issue, yeah, because the transitional epidemiology is ongoing in this moment. Yeah, we have the many diseases in the era. Yeah, it can be communicable disease and also in the chronic disease. So we should know about the update the science. I hope the Dr. Malina give us, yeah, the information, yeah, also how the Malaysia government, the health minister program implement the solve the problem of the especially in public health problem. Yeah, we should hear and also get much about the information. Thank you for your time, Dr. Malina. I hope we cannot stop in this moment, but we can develop our collaboration, yeah, in education and also the other of activity, research like that, and then internship of my student to, yeah, to continue take there, yeah. and many activity. We very wish that we can develop our program. Thank you for your coming, your join, and also all the support of the faculty of the participant today. Yeah. Once again, welcome and thank you very much for attending this event. I wish all participants good luck. Yeah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Dr. Martini, for your warm and inspiring words. We truly appreciate your presence and support in today's online session.
All right, for the next session, we will have the opening remarks from our Dean. We are honored to invite Dr. Budiono, BSPH, MPH, on behalf of our faculty, staff, and participants who are joining us online. We extend our warmest welcome. Dr. Budiono, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much for allowing me to join this. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear Associate Professor Dr. Malina Osman, PC, a medical doctor, a Master of Community Health, from the Epidemiology and Biostatistics, Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, University of Putra, Malaysia. Thank you for joining this event, and also Dr. Engineer Martini, plus Chair of Epidemiology and Tropical Diseases, Faculty of Public Health, Universitas Diponegoro. And thank you very much, Mbak Miftahur Rahimah, MPH, as a moderator, our colleagues, lecturers in Epidemiology and Tropical Diseases, Faculty of Public Health, and all of the participants, especially students from the undergraduate program, master program, and also doctoral program, and also practitioner who join this seminar. We know that epidemiological approach is a systematic based on data-driven methods used to understand and address health problem in population or in community by identifying the causes or risk factors or patterns, and then evaluation of the intervention that implement based on the program and evidence base. And I think it's very important to control and to prevent diseases, even communicable and also non-communicable disease. I think this approach of epidemiology involves statistics, maybe, and also at the village level. And I think can describing the problem, can we identify who, what, when, and where, and then analyzing potential causes or risk factors, and then conduct or formulate the program and intervention to implement solution, I think. And for knowing the successfully of the program, so it will evaluate the effectiveness of this intervention. I think an epidemiological approach of the chronic disease control involves the use of data and also scientific methods to understand disease pattern, identify factor, implement targeted intervention. Because you know, non-communicable disease in Indonesia is very high, high prevalence of this disease, like cardiovascular diseases and such as heart disease, and also stroke, and diabetes mellitus, and so on. I think this intervention or this methods includes surveillance. The most important is surveillance of the disease and this factor. And I think analysis for the data is a strategy to understand the developmental origin of the disease. And community-based intervention also very important to implement this policy and this program, and also to promote healthy behaviors. And I think this program or this policy uh, can evaluate of the clinical and non-clinical program. And I hope you will active for discussing everything related to the epidemiological approach, especially for the chronic diseases uh, and for controlling this chronic disease. And you can discuss about what it's like and why it's important and how can it be done and what are the challenges you can discuss actively. And thank you again for Associate Professor Dr. Malina Osman, PhD, MD, and Community Health as an expert and has excellent knowledge and experience in this field, I think, of especially for biostatistics and epidemiology. So I think this methods or this approach can applicate for the applied for the chronic disease in this topic. Thank you very much again, and she will brief explain this topic more detail. I think I hope you all pay attention and pay attention to and active in discussing this because it will lead you to different perspective and enjoy the lectures. Thank you very much again for Dr. Malina Osman. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Dr. Budiono, for officially opening today's event and for your continuous encouragement toward academic excellence and international collaboration.
That's right. And next, we would like to inform to all of the participants to kindly fill out the attendance form by scanning the barcode on the screen or just type the link. To the committee in charge, please share the link and the barcode.
Excuse
To
me,
all of the participants, you
excuse
have.
me.
Oh, yes.
Can uh, leave this room and I will move to other room physically because we have a meeting with the alumni of Faculty of Public Health for conducting the alumni meeting on 6th September. So let me leave from this room and we'll join with another meeting in physically. Thank you very much. Bu Martini, thank you very much. And teman-teman sekalian, thank you very much.
Okay, to Dr. Budiono, maybe we will have a documentation first before you can leave this meeting.
Of course, I will join with you
Okay.
for a moment and then we'll leave this meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
To all of the participants and our honorable guests, we kindly invite you to please turn on your camera because we will have a photo session together with Dr. Budiono. Okay, the documentation team will assist us in capturing the moment. We will wait until 9:42. To everyone, please turn on your camera.
All right, everyone, let's bring out our bright smiles. Are you ready? On the count of three. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, once again. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you everyone, and also thank you so much, Dr. Budiono, for joining us in this virtual photo together. And if you have another session after this meeting, you may leave this Zoom meeting. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Dr.
thank you
Budiono.
very much to Martini and also student and master of ceremony. I will leave this meeting and move to another room physically for another meeting. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Dr. Budiono.
Okay, next we would like to inform all the participants to kindly fill out the attendance form by scanning the barcode on the screen or just type the link. Okay, to the committee in charge, please share the link. Okay, to all the participants, you have 3 minutes to fill out the attendance form. Thank you.
In my life, stop. You don't wanna get no closer, 'cause I touch like midnight in July. I know that look, I've seen it before, and I'm keeping score. Got you right where I want ya. How you like that, baby? But way too busy playing yourself, and nobody else won't see me coming, but I'm coming straight for the heart. You never see us never looking this cute. My favorite part. I get to like it, maybe that's when I shoot. I'm aiming at you, that you. Don't test me, you know it's true. Your ego ain't but a proof. I'm coming straight for the heart. Want you to feel me take control over you. Trust me, I won't be gentle if you make me say it a second time. So cover up 'cause your ego is showing like you've never had it know in your life. I know that look, I've seen it before, and I keep it score. I got you right where I want ya. How you like that, baby? You was way too busy playing yourself. Ain't nobody else won't see me coming, but I'm coming straight for the heart. You never see us never looking this cute. My favorite part. I get to like it, maybe that's when I shoot. I'm aiming at you, that you. Don't test me, you know it's loose. Your ego ain't bulletproof. I'm coming straight for the heart. Want you to feel me take control over you. I know that look, I've seen it before. Now on the floor, I get you right where I want ya. How you like that, baby? You've been way too busy playing yourself.
Okay. Okay, since everyone already filled the attendance form, we are moving into the highlight of today's event. Ooh, the sharing session with our outstanding speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Malina Osman, Bachelor of Science in Medicine, Doctor of Medicine, Master of Community Health. But before we move on, we would like to share something exciting for all participants.
That's right, Nabila.
What is it?
Because we will tell to all the participants to encourage more interaction. We will be giving special rewards to the most active participants during the Q&A session. So get your questions ready. This is your chance to shine.
Ooh, okay. Now, before we begin, it is our pleasure to introduce our moderator and esteemed academic who will guide us through today's sharing session and facilitate the interactive parts of this event, especially the much anticipated Q&A session.
That's right. To the committee in charge, please share the CV. Okay, so Miss Miftahur Rahimah earned her bachelor's degree in public health from Universitas Andalas and a master's in community epidemiology from Universitas Indonesia. These academic achievements have led her to participate in several research projects, including studies on pre-hypertension risk and health behavior adaptation during the COVID-19 pandemic.
All right. Professionally, Ms. Miftahur Rahimah currently serves as a lecturer at Universitas Diponegoro and as a research consultant at Yayasan Lentera Kesehatan Nusantara. Her dedication to the field has earned her notable honors, including a prestigious National Academic Scholarship and meaningful contributions to COVID-19 health promotion and data enumeration.
That's right. So, without further ado, I'd like to invite Ms. Miftahur Rahimah, Bachelor of Public Health, Master of Epidemiology, to take the screen. Everyone, please give your warm virtual welcome to Ms. Miftahur Rahimah.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, I can see that Ms. Miftahur Rahimah is already on the screen. Good morning, Miss. How are you feeling today?
So excited. How about
Oh,
you, the
I
Miss
think
Beautiful Charming MC?
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Miftah Rahima. And I can see that you already ready for this session. And to Miss Miftah Rahima, you will have around 30 minutes for this session, and our timekeeper will provide support during the presentation. And to Miss Miftah Rahima, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mbak MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Warm greetings to all of you. My name is Miftah Rahima. I'll make it simple with Tata or Bu Tata. My student just asked me like that. And I'm honored to serve as the moderator for today's visiting professor lecture. First and foremost, let us extend our heartfelt welcome to the Dean of the Faculty of Public Health, Diponegoro University, Dr. Budiono, Bachelor of Public Health, Master of Health, the head of Head Department of Tropical Disease Epidemiology and Entomology, Dr. Martini, Master of Health, and lecturers, students, and particularly our international students, and of course our wonderful guest speaker from Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's session on epidemiology approach and chronic disease control update. Chronic disease such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, and respiratory illness remain the leading causes of the death of disability worldwide. Addressing this challenge required not only a clinical solution but also a strong epidemiological perspective to understand patterns, identify risk factors, and evaluate intervention. By applying epidemiological process, we can bridge scientific evidence with a public health action, helping policymakers and health professionals, and also researchers design effective strategies for prevention and control. For this reason, we are honored to present distinguished speakers who are highly relevant to this topic. Now it's my privilege to introduce our visiting professor for today, Associate Professor Dr. Malina Usman, Master of Medicine and Master of Community Health from University Putra Malaysia. Before we begin, let us share a brief introduction of our distinguished speaker. Okay, Professor Dr. Malina Usman from University Putra Malaysia and her Doctor of Medicine degree, followed by Master of Community Health. Both of them from University Kebangsaan Malaysia. She has continued her academic career with strong expertise in epidemiology and public health, focusing on disease prevention and control. Dr. Malina is currently serving at the Department of Community Health, Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, University Putra Malaysia. She is a public health specialist with expertise in epidemiology, parasitic, and tropical health and parasitology. With more than 2 decades of academic and professional experiences, she has contributed extensively to teaching, supervision of postgraduate students, and impactful research in non-communicable and communicable disease. Professor Malina has authored and co-authored numerous publications in international journals with a Scopus Edge Index of 15 and Google Scholar Edge Index of 20, reflecting her strong research influence beyond her academic contribution. She has actively engaged in public health programs, national surveys, and policy-relevant studies, particularly focusing on chronic diseases and infection disease prevention. We are privileged to have her with us today to share her insight on epidemiological approaches in chronic disease control. Please join me in welcoming Associate Professor Dr. Malina Osman. Without further delay, please join me, Professor.
Alright. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How do you feel today, Professor?
Fine, Alhamdulillah. I very much happy, looking forward and very excited to have some sharing session with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me greet you with a simple pantun, Professor. Pagi cerah burung bernyanyi, indah nian suasana desa. Selamat datang tamu kami, Profesor terhormat dari Malaysia.
MasyaAllah.
Insyaallah.
Do I need to reply your pantun? I think towards the end.
Okay.
All right. Shall I start the presentation?
Okay. Now let's begin the lecture, Professor. We'll speak for around 1 hour, and then we can continue with discussion session. And I hope you guys, students in epidemiology and entomology, can pay close attention and take a lot of information from this lecture. So please enjoy. And Professor, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much. So I am now sharing my screen. There are some information that I have added this morning because I was informed by Dr. Martini, some of the information related to university. So before I proceed, again, I would like to thank, Alhamdulillah, we express our gratitude, thank to Allah Ta'ala for our meeting today. This is our first meeting with all of you. I myself, Dr. Martini have met me, I think last July, informing me the intention to have some collaboration between two universities. And of course, I would like to extend my warm thankful to Dr. Martini, the head of unit epidemiology, as well as to Dean, Dr. Budiono just now, that allow us to move further in this collaboration. And we are looking forward to have more programs and activities together. So as I have been given these topics, and I am very happy to share with all of you. But for your information, my research more on communicable disease, but I am also doing some research on non-communicable disease. So basically, my presentation, I'm going to share on the first part on the university, my faculties, the background, but not into detail, because I am waiting your group to come to our faculty. I think perhaps late of this year or next year, where some of this information can be delivered more in details. Then we are going to talk about the main topic that I need to share with all of you, followed by some of those potential research scope. How do we establish further in this field to get some of the ideas, and as well as to publish some of the findings. I would like to just to share with you, I have my own weakness, because sometimes I talk too fast. And then if you find that I talk too fast and you want me to repeat, I am happy. Please stop me if you want me to elaborate to detail. I assume this is like my own students as well. So whatever you think that you want to clarify, just stop me, or else perhaps at the end you also can ask me. Yeah, okay. So today's topic will be the epidemiology approach of the chronic disease control, a recent update. So as I mentioned, I'm going to share, some of the information about my university. I've been in the university, I think, more than 20 years. And I was there since 2002 until now. And the university actually was known as previously as University Pertanian. It is agricultural, more on agricultural discipline. But then because of this is some of those campus, views, because of it was based on agricultural. We have a huge, areas with some of those farms that continuously do some of this research related to the policy of the country on food security. So this is some of the explanation. It has been began from 1938, something. Sorry, 1931. And then become the College of Agriculture, 1947. Later on known as University Pertanian, 1973. And then it was renamed as University Putra Malaysia to reflect some of the broader discipline in which during that time in 1996, Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences has been initiated. So this is some of the view of our campus, and then I just want to show. And then apart from the the modern structure, we also have some reserve forests nearby. If some of you I have an opportunity to come, I'll bring you here. These are some areas that is very unique to our university. This is some farms that I informed. The view which will welcome you, if you come to our university. Some of those view in campus, our masjid. And the latest one, which I did not put here, is that we have our own MRT station, inside campus. Means that it provides some opportunity for the students to have appropriate transportation if they don't have their own vehicles. So it is linked with the MRT to go to the nearby Kuala Lumpur or wherever, with all those supported transportation system. And then the universities have 15 faculties, including ours, Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, and also some of the schools, centers, as well as division who manage the academic program. And then currently, approximately, we have about 6,000 staffs. Most of them are the non-academic, and as of 2024, we have almost 30,000 students, including the international 7,000 plus. So we in UPM very much welcome all those collaboration together, particularly in teaching and learning, because you also learn. There are many things that we can grow together, win-win situation. It also will enhance our academic quality as well as for our postgraduate as well as undergraduate products. So this is our faculty, Faculty of Medicine and Sciences. It was started in 1996. Before that, we don't have Faculty of Medicine, so that basically it was initiated by the merging of the two departments, biomedical and nutrition and community health. So that together they formed the new Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. So we moved to our new campus in 2006 until now. And in 2014, something like that, we initiated the building of our own hospitals. Before that, we engaged to Ministry of Health Hospital. This is nearby to our main campus in Faculty of Medicine. And then it has been established in 2023. It is somehow hiccup, because we have 2020 pandemic of COVID, somehow the handover being delayed. But now everything, alhamdulillah, it's okay. And we also have, this is some of our facilities, the laboratory. I just want to show you, we have 7 floors, blocks, where ours in the 4th floor, the Epid and Community Health Laboratory. And then this is the reason, we are celebrating our Independence Day tomorrow. But then we also have our celebrating in our own campus. This is some of our staff as well as our postgraduates. This is our facilities in the faculty. Our main meeting room. My apology, I can't to provide details because I'm waiting for all of you to come so that I can, bring you along all those surrounding the campus as well. All right, so we move on our topic. So I just want to show you, this is our current, main scope of the university on food security. But hand in hand, in our faculty of medicine and sciences, we are also looking at all those contexts that relevant to us in order to provide areas that support, the scope of the main research in the university. So for the medicine and sciences, for your information, we also have some scope in which I am going to present to you at the end of my presentation. So basically, chronic diseases is actually also known as it's also known as non-communicable disease. I prefer to use terminology of non-communicable disease, or NCD. NCD. So that I hope you bear in mind. Throughout the presentation, I am going to use this acronym, NCD, in spite of chronic disease. So basically, from the definition, it has been defined broadly as a prolonged condition that lasts for a year, or at least 3 months. And I myself, based on my clinical experience, I tend to define, all these chronic diseases once the individual suffered from the condition, as long as more than 3 to 6 months. And then if more than that, it should be under classification of chronic disease. And of course, those who are affected, they need to go for certain medical follow-up and attention to get treatment, management, as well as some of the complications, limit some of the activities, as well as some of the implications so with the family and the societies. And I am referring as well to the Dictionary of Epidemiology, chronic disease, referring to health-related state lasting a long time. And of course, from EPID point of view, we take 3 months or longer. And as I mentioned, so I'm going to use the terminology of non-communicable disease, or NCD, instead of chronic disease. So as we aware, under chronic disease or non-communicable disease, we have long lists, to be focused on. And as long as the disease under the category that it, more than 3 to 6 months, need medical attention and have some complication. So we have a quite substantial list, to be discussed. And I myself, when I try to put it all those issues, in one presentation like this, I found that it's very difficult. That you find that perhaps some of those areas I touched not in detail, but just to give you some ideas on how it is being managed, identified, as well as being prevented at the social. And I'm sharing as well some of the Malaysia experience, handling all those suffer from non-communicable disease. So non-communicable disease develop gradually, and then it persists for a long extended period, often throughout the lifetime of the personnel of the individuals. And then it has a very slow progression in long duration. And as of WHO, World Health Organization, they have their own policy on how to manage, as well as policy on this management of non-communicable disease. So they classified these 4 main types: cardiovascular diseases, cancers, the respiratory, as well as diabetes. And if we search for literatures, non-communicable disease has been recognized as the main cause of death and disability worldwide. And if we can recall what happened during COVID-19 pandemic, those who have underlying chronic disease or non-communicable disease, are the ones that the most affected, because they are unable to fight, the infection due to some of those dysfunction of their immune system. Therefore, they have all those complications, and majority of those suffered from NCDs died because of the infection of COVID-19. And we have to alert as well that another scope of non-CDC or NCD will be the psychiatric illness, depression, manic depressive, all those anxiety, stress, that falls under the category. And of course, stress as well, the one that most of us suffer from time to time, and then skin problem, also being covered, but for my presentation, I exclude because skin, it has a very wide, scope, and perhaps some other platform, we can have the discussion or sharing session on that topic. And then in Malaysia, when we talk about the NCD, we also include disease that relate to environmental and occupational settings, environmental, so that somehow it has redundant, in terms of classification, but then to make it more distinct, compared to communicable disease, so that we have this kind of definition as well as categorization. Okay, globally, in 2010, it has been documented that 67% of death worldwide due to chronic disease, and then in 2019, it has been increased up to 74% of all death. And then with the accelerated growth, during the pandemic COVID-19 disaster, 2020 up to 2022, a lot of them, are the group that likely affected. And then throughout, the period, then we recognize that the importance for us to really put an attention for non-communicable disease, because of the severe complication when they engage with other diseases like infection. And WHO has termed the condition of all those NCDs, as the tsunami of chronic disease, because of all those impact on morbidity and mortality, and therefore some of those focus, attention that they have highlighted, to properly give an attention towards development, validation, and subsequent the deployment of whatever logistics in which these three functions that related to what is now happening contemporary include polygenic gene, genetic, the multifactorial risk prediction tools, the modelings, and then of course we are going for the prevention, looking for all those socio-behavioral determinants and factors, and how we are going to provide, some of those intervention to ensure, the optimum as well as the quality of health in the community as well as population. And finally, on the digital health systems, this one is very much relevant in current or the current era, in the era of AI, artificial intelligence, as well as the big data analysis, in which I would like to further explain, when we go towards the discussion and conclusion later on. But before that, I'm going to explain, from the traditional epidemiological approach, so that we can understand all those jargon, all those perhaps some bombastic terminology that being used in some of those policies, for us to understood that it is actually started, it is actually initiated from the conventional concepts or principles of epidemiology. So significance of NCDs, in general, for United Nations, they have declared, it is a very important agenda by 2030 for the SDG, Sustainable Development, where the target will be to reduce by 1/3 premature mortality. And NCDs, as you are aware, is one of the major causes for the premature mortality. And then this should be done through prevention, treatment, as well as to promote mental health and well-being. And I forgot to mention, I think in the previous introduction, basically NCDs, can be divided into two, the physical as well as mental. Sometimes, I just give I myself as example, as a doctor, sometimes we tend to forget, we treat patient, they have a disease physically, but then on top of that, they also have some stress or tension due to the illness that they have or whatever reasons. So that it is actually enhance, the mental and physical that perhaps implicate or provide some of the implication that give rise more severe features for those who are affected. Okay, so as I highlighted earlier, I'm going to explain all this approach first. From I know that all of you are already expert, from epidemiology point of view, all this epidemiology methods. So what I'm going to explain, I just provide this one slide where I want to summarize what actually that we usually, conventionally have some of those approach or methods in order to solve some of those problems or disease in the community. This one should be the competency must be something that be possessed by all those public health practitioners on the field. Before we can provide some of those big project or whatever policies that involve larger region as well as to the country. This one that we want to apply on the ground, must be really understood as well as competent to do this. Okay, epidemiology. What is epidemiology? Epi is about demo, people, logy is a study. So that in general, I just can have some ideas, that again and again, even in my class as well, when I want to remind my student, epidemiology is a study about people on their health factors contributed that being found contribute to the occurrence as well as give us some ideas on how we are going to solve the problems. The definition is very simple, but the methodology sometimes, was not being done in accordance to the discipline. Remember that when we are going to solve any epidemiological problem, we should go to the basic. We must have some descriptive analysis plus the analytic through appropriate biostatistics analysis. The skill on how to solve the disease problems, to identify disease burden as well as mortality, need skill on statistics. Inevitable, we need that skill because the evidence base for us to prove whatever steps that we are going to offer in order to intervene as well as solve the problems need some of those data. So the study on epidemiology, usually we are going to conduct whatever study, perhaps at a certain community or perhaps at the country or perhaps at a certain level, the regional level. So it should follow some of those discipline, means that as we know that when we conduct study in terms of research methods, study design, we have qualitative and quantitative research design, and then also, of course, mixed method. And then when we talk about the qualitative, you're going to have some of the data in depth, followed by quantitative, you have the observational as well as the experimental. And then we talk a long list, of the study design, like cross-sectional cohort, as well as case control. And then we have in the intervention, whether you have the cluster randomized control trial, the the quasi-experimental as well as the CRT, RCT. And along this, that all of us should know that in detail, so that in order for us to identify all those factors, should have some basis why we do say all those factors associated with all those outcomes. This is the traditional epidemiology. How do we determine all those factors? And then basically based on all those studies, we are collecting the data, analyze the data. Therefore, we determine the burden, the numbers, whether it is high, low, need prioritized, as well as some of the attention from the policymaker. And then on top of that, we are also providing all those factors that being associated. And then these factors, from epidemiology point of view, as we aware, some of the factors are confounders. Some of the factors are actually moderators, and some of the factors are mediators. And through statistical analysis as well, we can also identify some of the factors perhaps just serve as a covariates. They contribute to the outcomes, but somehow when we would like to contribute, or to identify what were the factors that can give new insight, particularly from intervention point of view. So all those covariates can be controlled through the statistical analysis, so that you can ensure the intervention that you are going to do really provide the positive implication to the community. I hope that the language that I am using now, you all can follow. As I mentioned just now, I have a weakness, when I talk too fast, So later on, you can just jot down, and I'm happy to repeat it again. So basically, if you do all the study at the selected communities, the priority means that you have your region, and then you have your community, the village. So if you do study in a very small, all those community, then it becomes what? Community diagnosis. And based on that community diagnosis, then you can offer what with the intervention that you are going to offer. So followed by all those identifications, in what area that intervention can be offered, the platforms that we are going to utilize, you are going to choose whether it is primary, secondary, tertiary, and I hope that at your level, all of you aware what is defined as primary intervention, primary prevention, what is secondary prevention, and what would be the tertiary prevention. And of course, in non-communicable disease or chronic disease, the tertiary prevention is very important, because this would provide, some hope for those who have already affected, by the disease, to continue their life as optimum as possible, and they can be independent and to prevent themselves from whatever complication that may lead to death or whatever severe complication. And then, of course, on top of that, once we have identified through the specific study design, we are offering some of those interventions. We also need to understand, from the traditional public health pillar, that we need to always remember the key factors that ensure the successfulness for whatever program we are going to offer to the society. Will be the community participation, the available resources that we have, as well as intersectoral collaboration. You know what, based on my experience, these three pillars, main pillars, really make me humble, because I understand that through public health, we cannot just claim ourselves, as someone who provide all those changes in the community. We need them. We need the community to ensure the successfulness, as well as helping from other agencies. So in order to make sure this one, we have to go down to the ground, experience what with their issues, the problems that they have, as well as to engage what current whatever available technologies. This one I always talk to my students. You have to remember, particularly I give an example. If you want to offer intervention, if majority of the community are unable to read, you cannot give them slide like what I presented to you with all those words, phrases. They can't benefit. So that what we have to do is that we have to integrate with some of the figures, with the photos, image, to enhance their understanding, so that they understand what actually their role, in order to make sure that they can benefit from the intervention. And then now I'm going to share with you the NCDs in Malaysia. before I proceed with all those some of the programs, I just want to share some of the backgrounds. I'm also will present, some of those burden of the epidemiology of certain selected of the chronic disease or the NCD in Malaysia, and of course, because of the scope, of the chronic disease is very large, so that I just have some few examples. And I'm going also to discuss on the selected risk factors. Of course, when we talk about the non-communicable disease, we cannot run away, or inevitably we have to talk about the risk factors. And we in Malaysia have some, and I think at large, still have issues related to most of the risk factors towards this NCD. So in Malaysia, this is the latest report in 2023 or 2024, but the latest one we have in 2023. And just to give you the background, in Malaysia we have what we call as National Health Morbidity Survey, National Health Morbidity Survey, and HMS, where the Ministry of Health will conduct this study according to the epidemiological methods throughout the country with some sampling of the targeted population, and they would give us some of those information every 10 years. Every 10 years, they will conduct the study. And then in between, sometimes they targeted to the certain susceptible, or now they use the new term, key population. They use key population or marginalized population, in which they have some importance, in which they implicated, in the issue, but then not being given attention. So this group, usually, being studied in a different compared to the usual NHMS. So in Malaysia, it accounted up to 72% of all premature death. When we talk about premature death, means that because of the being affected by all those NCDs, the chronic disease, they died early compared to the expected, the life expectancy age for the mortality. So I give an example, in Malaysia, the life expectancy up to 72 years old. But then they died early because of all those chronic disease. And then in 2023, if we look there, cause of death in government hospital about 60%, and then related to this one is related to circulatory or cardiovascular. That one is not pulmonary, but it's a pulmonary. Pulmonary. I'm going to pulmonary. Endocrine, neoplasm is cancer, while in private 71%. And then, as I mentioned earlier, in Malaysia, when we talk about the chronic disease or NCDs, we are referring to hypertension, diabetes, ischemic heart disease, which are under cardiovascular, and then we have cancers. There are all sorts of cancers. I'm going to share with you the common type of cancers in Malaysia, as well as mental health, skin problems, the autoimmune, as well as some of these diseases that being identified, very much related to occupational and environmental settings. So I just want to share with you, in Malaysia, the Ministry of Health, under Director General, they have 3 deputy, and then one of the deputy handle on public health, all issues related to community health. And then under the section, under the deputy DG, they have many sections, including disease control division. So that under disease control division, they have many branches. And then one of the branches include CVD, diabetes, cancer, and then they have the intervention section on sectors on intervention, as well as occupational environmental, and then tobacco control. And the vape also come under these sectors. And for mental health, the disease is not under the disease control division, but they have their own institute that being identified by as National Center of Excellence of Mental Health. So mental health in Malaysia being handled by its own sector, but not known as sector, but as a national institute center of excellence. So under they focus on all those issues related to mental stress. The one that have already developed full-blown psychiatric, then they are going to refer to the hospitals as well as certain institutions to get treatment. But those who have suffered from all those mental health means that they still can function but suffered from certain burden like stress, whatever, or follow up, in between, from the hospitals before they go back to the community. Then this institute, will provide some of those services. Okay. So now I'm going to share with you some of those epidemiology. As I mentioned, in Malaysia, they be referred as hypertension, diabetes. That I'm going to share with you what will look like the burden in our country. So basically, based on the National Health Morbidity Survey, in 2019, and then the recent one, 2023, and then they have in 2015, it consistent, in the increasing trend, the hypertension. So that 1 in 3 adults in Malaysia suffer from hypertension. And they also do a survey among youngsters, in which majority of them unaware that they suffer from hypertension. So this provide, some of this insight in which we have to strengthen the screening, particularly at the young age. How about the diabetes? Diabetes, similar. The problem increased, from 13.4 up to 18.3. And then some of the expert, estimate, if no appropriate intervention, we afraid that, by certain 2040 or 2050, half of Malaysians, would suffer from diabetes. How about the cardiovascular disease? The cardiovascular disease covered, particularly ischemic heart disease and other related, to the heart. And then it was unlike hypertension and diabetes in the form of chronic disease. Usually, most of those who suffered, they do not die, direct, but then it would develop, some of the complications to the CVD. So it was found that in 2019, CVD was the leading cause of mortality in most of Ministry of Health hospitals. And then between 12 to 14, they require some treatment for the acute coronary syndrome, which require intervention. And then we know that the cardiac interventions very expensive. In Malaysia, it costs up to 100 to 150K, depending where, the institution that they sought for the treatment. And then from the data, they found that treating CVD costs 3.9 ringgit, billion annually. And then of all, the treatment for the healthcare, it consumes more than 40, up to more than 40%, to treat the CVD alone. And then in 2017, before pandemic, they studied that CVD costs annual loss of the productivity, estimated up to 4 billion, not million, billion. So as we know that risk for CVD, we have hypertension, diabetes, and some of the lifestyle, obesity, of course, genetic, we cannot deny for the genetic, but all this, related to the lifestyle as well as how do they manage stress, diet, as well as the physical activities. This is unique to our country, nation population, getting obese, this is a real issue. And we found that basically most of us suffered from overweight, and somehow we forget that, we have to refer to the anthropometric measures that suitable more for us as an Asian population, because the one that they thought that BMI, is a limit 25, more than 25 overweight is actually not suitable for us. Our BMI should much lower, more than 23.9 should be considered as overweight. And substantial numbers as well who suffer from morbid obesity, where their BMI more than 40. Yeah. So this is a real issue, yeah, in our country. So 1 in 2 of them, have no appropriate physical activities. Most of us in services, in office, so that they somehow lack of strenuous activities, that lead them to have basically appropriate hours, yeah, for them to have a proper physical activities. Yeah. Unlike 30 to 40 years ago, when our grandmothers, they are more on agriculture, they are on the farm, plantation, they exercise more compared to most of our younger generation today. How about the cholesterol? Cholesterol is also one of the risk factors, for the CVD. And basically, based on the survey, it was found that 1/3, 33.3% of the Malaysian adults are having high cholesterol. Yeah, and most of them do not realize they have this risk. Yeah. And then I just highlight here on the metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is actually a cluster of conditions where it happened in one individual, they have a higher risk to get the CVD. So basically, most here is actually towards getting more and more the youngsters get screened. Therefore, they can be identified early, so that the intervention to prevent the NCD can be done as soon as possible. So we are looking for all those three out of 5 components. Yeah, the abdominal obesity, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, yeah, high blood triglyceride, whatever. And this one have been identified, to be included in part of the component in the heart screening. And majority of them are those perhaps among the elderly, but as you look here, it also affects those who are in a younger age, and some of those who are underweight also, as well as normal weight, also can suffer from metabolic syndrome. So this is why where we, the Ministry of Health, engage with some of those activities to encourage more health screening to be done rather than wait at 40 or more than 40 years old. All right. So this is some of the characteristics from the National Mobility Survey. Yeah, characteristics of those individuals, average age 40 years old, smoking. Most of them, have abdominal obesity, hypertension, and high cholesterol. And some of them, majority of them young, and have some other diseases at the same time. Now we move on the epidemiology of cancers. These are all those most the first 4 common cancers in Malaysia. I give the figures there, comparing before 2016 as well as after 2016. Yeah, this is the latest report. We have this report in 2023, 2024, if I'm not mistaken, and we are still waiting for the latest one. But the trend are almost the same. To give you the figures in the table actually in percentage. Yeah? The figures in the table is percentage. Yeah? So my apology, so that you can add in the notes later on. But don't worry, I would provide the corrected version, later on, so that you can refer. Yeah? Okay, so similar for this one. So if you look here, the most common cancer is a breast cancer, followed by colorectal, and then lung cancer, as well as blood, the lymphoma. Yeah. And the rest will be on nasopharynx, liver, prostate, leukemia, liver cancer, and then they have some related to reproductive system, the uterus as well as ovary. This is the distribution according to gender. In male, the highest will be colorectal. In female, breast, followed by colorectal. Yeah. All right, so I am now presenting some of the selected risks of the non-communicable disease, the NCD. The one of the identified the risk factors would be lifestyle, like inadequate sleep, inadequate sleep. So that from public health point of view as well, clinical point of view, they suggest that at least you must have at least 7 hours to sleep, at average. Yes, but right now we found that majority of them have poor sleep. And then in the survey, it was found that 2 in 5 or 38% adult not getting enough sleep. And then most of them in urban, and this is actually reflected by our current trend. If you come to our country, Malaysia, we have many restaurants that open more than up to 24 hours. Unlike when I was in my younger age, usually we have the restaurant that, just operate up to 10, then they will close, then they will open the next day. But now the availability of food, and on top of that, we have many entertainment, platforms. I gave example like the internet, TV, the Netflix, whatever that allow them, to have that kind of lifestyle, very much different compared to what we have 30 to 40 years ago. And then sometimes in certain areas in Malaysia, as if they have no sleep at all. Every time we see that they are individuals, so that some of them have a reverse pattern of sleeping, as well as they are unable to perform, like others. And these have led some of the situation, particularly more on hypertension. And you look there, insufficient sleep by age group, affect some of our youngsters. How about smoking? This is the prevalence of smoking in Malaysia. We found that in certain areas, like in East Malaysia, most of them. But here I did not provide the latest on vaping, but we have some figures just to give you some ideas, like this one. The one that we are worrying now on the vaping trend, as well as some of those situation, that inevitably allow some of the confusion among the public related to this lifestyle. But then that one need discussion further for us to look into this. But I myself found that we still far from. I just want to give an example, like Singapore. Singapore managed to curb this kind of risk towards certain policy. I think a lot of things that we can learn from Singapore, as well as some other countries that successfully to reduce the burden of smoking. Okay, how about the other things like vegetable intake and fruit intake? In National Health Morbidity Survey, also they look for some of those data about this one, and then they found that most of us, did not take adequate vegetables or the fruit, particularly among the youngsters. They like, and that's why some they have inadequate fibers. And then we know that some of those fibers very important, to have some of the appropriate digestive function, as well as lack of fibers, leads to certain cancer and whatnot. And then about the drinking the water, particularly, some of them did not realize they did not have adequate water intake. All right. So how about the screening based on the survey as well? We look at some of the data, the like breast self-examination. This one is for them to detect abnormal lump as soon as possible. How about the pap smear? Still large individuals did not go for pap smear, even though the service are available in most of the clinics in Malaysia. And how about mammogram? Majority, we have a plenty of institutions that offer mammogram to be done. And then the fees also not that high. Most of the private sector, they offered about RM200 for each of the session. And also for the efficacy or cut blood, as well as some of those advanced like colonoscopy to be done. All right, so I just put here some of those other non-CDC like asthma, but as I mentioned, I did not go into this because this perhaps needs some of those platform, to discuss further, or else it will be very amplified. But I just want to share with you, asthma also have an issues, and from time to time, we in Malaysia also exposed to haze. We have a seasonal haze in certain duration, particularly during drought, change of the monsoon, and then some of those who have some underlying pulmonary diseases, they also tend to have some of those infection as well as suffered from all those complications. And this is all those numbers, 1.4 million of Malaysians diagnosed with asthma. And then we know that asthma sometimes not only develop during the childhood, but then during the adult onset. And then it also associated with some of the lifestyle, smoking, and the one that perhaps exposed to certain condition. Even though they are passive smoker, they also can develop some of this situation. All right, so I just covered on this one of the topics of the mental health, and then we know that under the DSM-5, there are many classification for all those mental health, the mental illness. But for this example, I just put one of the examples, the one that being carried out, during the NHMS, the National Health Mobility Survey in Malaysia. Depression, majority, of them, suffered. Not to say among the youngsters, this is really shock to us. But then if we look at the current trend, because particularly our youngsters today, very, very much different compared to our years. During our time, there is no social media. And then their friends, not only the existing physical friends, they have also the friends that they have never known before. And then they have an argument, they have distraction, and a lot of things that may, provide some of those platforms that make them more stressed and whatever, all those complications. And then from the survey, it was found that 1 million or 4.6 Malaysian more than 6 suffered from depression. This is depression means that they have either they have insight, not yet got up to the developed major depression. They have some psychotic symptoms. So perhaps if it can be identified earlier, it can be prevented to have some of those complications. All right, so this is I think the final one. I just put some of those, the extra, the one that I did not put, in the previous slide, like physical activity, 1/3 of us inactive, and then how about the alcohol drinkers, 10.4 of the samples, and then the rest, the one that I have presented. And then the mental health problems among children aged 5 to 16 and 16.5, quite high among the adults. So these are all those about the burden, of the NCDs in Malaysia, based on and then I proceed with some of those policies and interventions of reducing all those burdens. They have 4 pillars. Number one, to have appropriate, the delivery of the service, where they strengthen the primary healthcare, optimizing the hospital, as well as providing, an opportunity for both private and government to work together in order to give the best services to the public, to the community. And also the one that, relatively new compared to whatever being practiced earlier will be on the digitalization. Means that now we are going to embrace or harness some of those available technology to improve, particularly on logistic as well as on the surveillance. So with this opportunity, a lot of changes, in terms of documenting, as well as to ensure the data can always be captured in order for us to, in order for the Ministry of Health, to change whatever policy that they have from time to time. Number 2 is that to promote, the health promotion, advocacies, health advocacies, and it should be done throughout. And this is, implying the 3 pillars that I mentioned earlier: available resources, the stakeholders, involvement of stakeholders, and community participation. And this one should be done together across the discipline, across all the strata of the community, to make sure that none of them left behind. And then the number 3, more on the financial. As we know that on chronic disease, the non-communicable disease, they need lifetime treatment, follow up, and throughout their life, they are, have a probability whether their disease, become severe, have more and more complications, and a lot of, something that related to the disease progress. So, what is certain is that they need the follow up throughout their life. So when they need the follow up throughout life, of course, the cost for the treatment follow up, and from time to time, we know that everything increasing throughout the time. Perhaps during previously we have drugs, just $10, and now perhaps 20, 30, and they have the latest one that may be higher. So inevitable, some of the education from the policy should address on the financial education to make all those available programs, to treat as well as to prevent, sustainable in the long run. Yeah. And then finally, on the governance, particularly on the accountability, to make sure that whatever that we adopt on the programs to be implemented according to the evidence base. So basically, if you look, into 1, 2, 3, 4, the pillars that being presented here, this is actually from one of the reports of the Ministry of Health of Malaysia. It's actually coming from the basic epidemiology, the one that I have presented to you earlier, based on the study and what all those contexts that we're going to look at. And without all the data, all these 4 pillars unable to be displayed or presented. Yeah. All right, now what will be the current program? The one that being adopted by Ministry of Health is that the coordination at the ministry level, and then we have National Institute of Health, NIH. They do all those studies from time to time, and supported by the universities. And some of the universities, the local universities, will do all the studies related to all those chronic diseases and provide information to the Ministry of Health at the some of the supplementary data, or to support some of the new policy that they want to engage, particularly when they introduce the new intervention. And it also being done with the collaboration some of the research institutes from other ministry. And they have the continuous surveillance from time to time being presented, and it is available. And right now we are moving towards, we hope that one day, some of the genomic studies, in the population that can be integrate as well, so that some ideas, on the genetic, whatever, that may contribute to the occurrence of chronic disease, can be determined. And all those data that we have from the continuous surveillance, the research from time to time, will provide, some ideas on how we are going to determine the strategies to reduce the burden, mortality as well as the morbidity. And the one that I would like to discuss again, related to the current technologies and AI. Currently, I hope that you also agree with me. It is a very rapid, advance out there on AI technologies, particularly on academic, on data analysis, on research. We cannot avoid ourselves, to be part of the changes. We have to embrace the technologies. We cannot just deny, the opportunity that we can have from all those available platforms. But then we need to utilize according to the context, the actual context of the traditional epidemiology. We cannot just have and then listen to the AI to dictate us what we have to do. Is wrong. Yeah. And then we actually, in our setting, we found that some of the candidates, particularly those who are, have some research, they have the AI assist them to do all those literature review. They rely on the AI. They don't know. They don't want to read. It is wrong. So similar like in epidemiology, we have to understand the context, the concept, all those basic definition. So then all this AI, whatever modeling that you are going to use, the relevant big data analysis, and then you integrate with all those perhaps at the molecular, cellular. So it will provide some of those enhanced understanding towards the occurrence as well as prevention of the disease. And this will lead to what we call as nowadays, the magic term, they call as public health precision. And we hope that towards one day, they can have all those algorithms in order to have some ideas on how we are going to tackle them. Means that the non-communicable diseases are much better and precise, so that the quality of life, that can be better, inshallah. All right, so this is the National Strategic Plan so far, the strengthening based on all those pillars. They are going to strengthening primary care, more on curative, preventive, and rehabilitative. This one actually from the primary prevention, you realize, primary prevention, secondary prevention, and tertiary prevention. Primary prevention is what? The specific protection, promotion. Then secondary is what? Early diagnosis, and then prompt treatment, and then finally it's rehabilitation. And then Malaysia has launched the National Health Screening Initiative, into which they extend, the scope, particularly to address some of those key population that they have no opportunity to get screened. What they call a group of B40, have the lowest 40% income to get into certain programs so that they can get screened and to get diagnosed as soon as possible. And then they also launched a cancer-specific program. Similar, they engage the primary, secondary, tertiary, but then in the forms of specific to the cancer prevention. This is the targets for the national strategic plans. Target by this year. I guess they are now, planning, for the next 10 years, to get the new targets. And then we have this one, the current policy, smoking particularly, and then they have many, I think, activities towards this one. And the latest one, we have the new law, means that to implement towards vaping particularly, so that we can prevent some of those hazard, as well as risks towards our youngsters particularly. And then for alcohol as well, similar steps, being taken. Okay. On nutrition particularly, and I found that for this NCD, hypertension, diabetes, the metabolic syndrome, the main, I think, underlying cause, for all this, it would be our diet, our nutrition. Perhaps some of us overeating, so that they need to enhance some of those ideas, as well as campaign on promoting healthy eating. So we have to reduce the carbohydrate, carbo intake, and then those who have been in Malaysia, that some of those cafe, they sell some of the high sugar drink, they have all those boba drinks, and then they have all those cheesy, something added, unnecessary carbo. And then on top of that, Ministry of Health also has conducted, campaign, war on sugar, and they also have increased some of those excise duty on certain products, so that to reduce, the sugar consumption. And on obesity, we know that based on literature review, basically the obesity, it is not mainly due to excess fat or in their diet, but because of excess carbohydrate, it convert into fat that being allows someone to have that access to it. So I think focus on diet or nutrition should be addressed as well to give us more platforms, but then this one, I think the most difficult for them to, because once they have already exposed to certain food, difficult for them to stop, and it requires a lot of sacrifice as well as training and counseling. Another one, they now in Malaysia they have an option to have bariatric surgery, but I think that one is a reason for all those morbid obesity. Another one, physical activity, to improve the physical activity. This one under the national strategic, they also engage with some of the NGOs as well as some of those volunteers in order to make sure that more and more, among the public to get involved in all those physical activities. And then in the national strategic as well, they have some analysis on health economy. As I mentioned, the chronic disease, need to be chronically follow up. Yeah, they need treatment throughout their life, so that all those economic burden that may also affect the country, in terms of financial support and whatever. So that some of those steps need to be done, as well as to identify the appropriate intervention. So how much that we can save the money, if the intervention can be implemented now in 10 to 20 years, and then how it can improve the quality of life. So this also need, in managing the chronic disease. And finally, I just want to share with you about the National Center of Excellence on Mental Health. For mental health, as I mentioned, it is different compared to organization in the organizational chart. It is National Health Center of Excellence on Mental Health. Yeah? So it has its own activities to handle all those individuals who suffer from mental health issues from time to time and get all their follow-up. Okay, this is Enchant. I have no, the place is situated in Cyberjaya. If you come and then you wish to go to this, so I can arrange, the visit over there. All right, moving forward, as I mentioned with my presentation, I hope that you understand, whatever the perhaps all those big policy that we have observed, it actually started with the classical approach on epidemiology, on how we are going to determine the burden factors, and then the solution on public health intervention, the skill, the competency on epidemiology, and in the long run, we need some commitment from policy, also from all those experts and the financial analysis to make sure that the sustainable of the program and the benefits of the country. So I just want to share my NCD's research in UPM. I did some of the study on CVD, kidney disease, and on breast cancer screening, on producing the new interventional module. And then also one of my PhD student, he did on the molecular study on polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, and one of my colleagues, she did on salivary gland disorder. So scope of research for the NCD that I have involved so far, more on pathology, progress, bioinformatics, clinical, as well as on public health intervention. And in our faculty, this one that I mentioned earlier, the research being done strategically based on the faculty as well as university driven, where some of those are related to health on genetics, cancer, and I myself from the public health department. And we have also one unit, faculty research support unit, and I myself is one of the consultants to provide some of those advice on how to conduct the study as well as on the biostatistic analysis. Okay, this is my student, the study, effectiveness of health billing model, the one of my students, PhD. She did the study in Pakistan. She did the study in Pakistan. And then this is the list of my publication for the past 3 years on non-communicable disease. And on top of that, I have some studies on communicable disease, but this is the one that usually I am the collaborator for this NCD. But the breast cancer screening, the intervention module is myself. I am the PI, the principal investigator, and we have some invitation from UK, to extend our intervention module to be done in some of those third world countries. So, we can offer some of the better opportunity for those who are, in the group, to get screened earlier, for the cancer screening. Okay, this is I just want to share with you the one that we have in UPM. We have massive open learning, blended learning substitute BLS, as well as micro-credential, in which in future we are going to embark activity together. This is the platform that we can offer. You can come, as well as we offer some hybrid, the face-to-face as well as online distance learning. Okay, this is our team from the university on the academic. I'm going to discuss with them, regarding all those our postgraduate activities, particularly how we can merge together one of the masters that being offered, so inshallah we'll give you some. With that, I would like to thank for your attention. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Marina, for insightful and comprehensive presentation, and also the beautiful university and with fresh environment. The topic you share is highly relevant, especially for countries like Indonesia and that similar disease and challenges. Now we will begin to the discussion session for about 30 minutes. I will open the floor to questions. There will be 2 questions per term. Please raise your hand if you would like to ask a question and briefly introduce yourself before asking, or maybe we'll chat at the box. Participants are all welcome to ask question in either English or Indonesian, and encouraging everyone to engage thoughtfully and comfortable with the topic. After everyone who has asked, our guest speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Malina Usman, will choose the best question and the winner will get a special prize. So don't hesitate as your most interesting and thoughtful question. Okay, there is a question from Muflihatunisa. Okay, you have to unmute your microphone first, miss. Please. Is it okay with your microphone? Okay.
Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, of course.
First of all, thank you so much for the opportunity and for the Professor Malina. Thank you so much for your insightful presentation. And before I asking my questions, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Muflihat Nisa, and currently I'm studying Master of Public Health in University of Diponegoro. And so my questions is regarding to your presentations about like the importance of communities. So from your experience, what community-based approach have been most effective in Malaysia for NCD control, and which one have not worked as expected? So, because I would like to understand this better so that such strategies could potentially be adapted and implemented in field work. And also the second question is, what are the best ways for us to maintain reliable epidemiological data quality, uh, both in rural or hard to reach areas? That's my questions. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Miss Nisa.
Okay, thank you.
Professor, yes,
Yeah.
feel
Okay,
free
so
to ask one.
Muflihatun, basically, based on my observation, the availability of the screening in the clinic are there, but the uptake in general are not encouraging. Why? Because most of them have a perception that they are still healthy. They doesn't need the screening. And then another example which has a very low uptake is the pap smear. The pap smear. I don't know about Indonesia, but in Malaysia, about 65%, they decline. Why? Because of some of the wrong perception and whatever. But we actually have found, some new technique, instead of they have to go to clinic, they can do it on their own. Now we have some of those approach, where they can have a self uptake for the specimen. So that one is one of the options to overcome of the situation. How about others? Most of us, when they have to start work, they have what they call as pre-employment screening also. So that also being a platform where screening can be done. Most of us, still have a culture where if there is nothing, they feel nothing wrong, usually they will not go to the clinic or to some of the facilities to get screened for all. But now, with all those initiative, being done by the government, and we found that some of those onset, I give an example, like hypertension and diabetes is no longer, at 30, 40 years old. Some of them have started at early as 19, 20. So that now we move towards to encourage as young, as more as possible among the youngsters to get screened. Another way that we want to enhance, all those activities, that the participation from the stakeholders, particularly from the private sectors and the NGOs, where this group, play a role in order to provide awareness. And I think they play a very significant role nowadays, where TikTok, some of the media, the social media, play a role in order to advertise, it provide, some of the insightful, they come for the screening as well. So I think that will be the some of those platforms that can be utilized moving forward towards more and more uptakes or the identification of the disease as early as possible. And then on another issues that may, give, some of those some of the hesitancy among the participants will be the financial, the costing. So in that sense, the government has provided some of the allocation, particularly for those who are in the lower socioeconomic group, to have certain discount. Then they have the initiative. They can have all the screening for free, so that a lot of things can be diagnosed earlier. On your second question, can I clarify? You want to ensure the data, you have a quality data for the research in rural and urban, isn't it? Can you just rephrase your question just now?
Yeah, so it's like how we ensure our when we collect the data in the communities, how we ensure that the way we collect the data is it's have the good quality, because
All
like
right.
sometimes like when I have one experience when I went with my friends to go to the rural areas, and it's like sometimes for some of my friends, they just gonna like collect data, but it's not like based on the SOP or something like that, so the
Okay.
data kind of
So
messed up.
let me share with you. Okay, number one, for the data collection, you have to ensure your proposal. In your proposal, it is clearly stated, all those important information that you need to address. I'm teaching on research methods, for more than 20 years, and I found that majority of the candidates sometimes they have an ideas on the proposal, but the details on the variables that they are going to measure was not mentioned or defined clearly. I give an example. If you are going to determine prevalence of hypertension in certain community, and you would like to determine the factors associated with the hypertension. So you have to define what do you mean by prevalence of hypertension. How do you classify hypertension for your study, number one? And then about the factors. I give you example like factors. One of the factors is age. Then you have gender. And then you have perhaps race. Yeah. And then perhaps you have some others, all those factors. How do you define age for your study? So you must have some operational definition properly documented for your study. And I found that majority of research did not address this one. They just go for the data collection and then they can have whatever definition afterwards up to them. So during the data analysis, they become confused how they are going to have all those analysis because it was not defined at the earlier stage. So this is very important. Perhaps if I have some of those workshop, in future, I can invite you as well to get you some ideas, details, on this is very important because we have to identify right from what. If we do research, we know that the proposal chapter 1 to 3, right? So you cannot start with chapter 1. You have to start with chapter 2, your literature review. In your literature review, from your literature review, you are going to have your problem statement. From your problem statement, you have to identify your research question. And from your research question, you are going to rephrase into your research objective. In your research objective, for your information, you have many treasures that you have to address. One of it will be what? You have to make sure that your objectives is smart. And then inside of the objective, you have all those variables that you need to identify, define, and then you must know whether it is independent or dependent variables, whether it is numerical or categorical. This one, all those researchers should know by heart. They cannot just ignore as if, when I go to the site, I want to collect the data, then I want to do everything. No, you have to start early as possible. You have to make sure all those things done before you collect your data, so that you make sure when you're already on the ground, you know whether the data that you are going to collect enough or not. And another one, when you outline your objective, One important information that you need to include is the instrument. What is your study instrument? One of the instruments, I give example like questionnaires. How you are going to have a reliable and valid questionnaires. There are some steps on questionnaires. And of course, when you are going to measure, I give example like hypertension, you have to describe tools that you are going to utilize. Who are going to measure? Or if you are going to take blood, who are going to take blood and how you are going to transport them to the laboratory. And this need to be documented as well. You know what? The difference for us compared to those who are not in the university, we have to document in detail. So for the proposal for chapter 1 to 3, for you to collect your data, you have to make sure that you have to write in detail so that you make sure whenever you are not available on the ground, the one who replace you, they understand how the data to be collected, how the respondent can be selected. This is very important. And I would like to emphasize chapter 2, literature review, very important. This one, the one that I mentioned, now you can have AI to assist you, but you yourself as a researcher, you need to read. And care for the data is not only about the data collection, but as well for you to understand the background of the community. If they are unable to understand your language, I give an example. If I go to your village, I speak the Malaysian accent, they can't understand me. So what I have to do, I need to find someone in the village that can be my license assistant, where he or she become the runner or someone that communicating me with the community. You know what? When we are on the ground, we have to humble ourselves. We cannot be the boss. You have to understand the community, how you can win the community so that they can listen to you and provide all those information that you have. So this one, I always remind my student, if you go to certain village, you have to identify who is the icon in the village. I give an example, you have the head of village, let you meet him to give your ideas and for him to identify who can assist you on the ground. And you are not the one, who will run. You are going to train them because the community particularly, they are much closer with the one that they know better. They know you only one day, they will not answer your question. I can assure you that is my experience. So what you have to do is that you have to identify those who are on the ground to help you in order for you to have all the data. So I think I just have some of those ideas that I can share with you up to this point. But in details, perhaps if we can meet, in future in details, I also can share some of those my experience on that. Okay, that's all. I think Mufiatun. I hope that I answer your question.
Yes, that's actually really answer my questions, Professor. Because yeah, that because when I was in my experience before that, we just met the communities like once we just want to collect the data. So we not give the approach to them first. We not try to do that. So they just answer us.
Then you have to
Yeah,
understand from public health point of view, the more one important is what? How is to understand their background, the socio culture.
mm-hmm.
And then we have to respect them.
Mm-hmm.
We are not their boss. We
Yes.
we need their cooperation, for us, to help them to improve their situation, something like that. So that
Yeah.
is different compared to clinical, the
Mhm.
hospitals, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we need to be humble for
Yes, of
them and
course.
get
Yes,
close to them, right? Yeah, yeah.
of course, of course. Particularly when you find some of the community that very much different and have much lower
Mm-mm.
their socioeconomic status compared to you. They will run away. They will not attend you. Whatever, isn't it? So that's my advice.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you, Professor and Miss Nisa, for the comprehensive discussion.
Mm-mm.
And for the next question, please, is there any question? There's a question in the chat box, or you can raise your hand. Okay. There is a question from C. Fauzi. Professor, As a part of its national strategy to address non-communicable disease, Malaysia launched the National Health Screening Initiative in 2022. Is this program will ongoing? Ongoing today. How impactful has it been in detecting NCDs in Malaysia, and what challenges has been encountered in its implementation? Thank you.
Yeah, the,
So,
the
Professor.
process still ongoing. But then, how whether it benefits or not, the evaluation will be done soon, so that we do not know yet. But as I observe, the situation now very much different compared to during my time in Ministry of Health. The awareness, some of the youngsters very much encouraging compared to the earlier. So we hope that we can find some better uh, epidemiology results, after these initiatives.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. Miss Fauzi, are you got it, the
Another
information?
one, how impactful and the challenges, as I
Yeah,
mentioned earlier, the challenges, what this is based on what I can share with you. The challenges is that some of them have no insight. They have risk to get the developed, so that they don't want to do all the screening. They don't want to come forward. A key for this one is a change of lifestyle, and on the same time they need to come to um, screen whether they have all those diseases or not. And at the same time they have to change the way, I give example like sleeping pattern, diet intake, physical activities, stress management, and how do they cope with some of those work as well as whatever stress in their setting. So this need some of those uh, willpower for them to do, in order for them to come forward. Usually people will come forward only when they have already ill, to come to the health sectors. If they feel still they don't want to come. um, right now, another challenges will be what I can share is that because of perhaps some of um, um, the situation. I give you example like vaping. Sometimes their advertisement is much encouraging, compared to some of those activities that you want to prevent it. So that kind of situation. So we need some of the policy to be implemented, to be much stronger lah in future.
yeah, thank you, Professor. There's a key to prevent this NCDs cause to screening and get to train their bad behavior. So we come to the next question from Tutik Iswanti. One of the non-communicable diseases in Malaysia, diabetes. What about the cases of diabetes mellitus in pregnant women, and how can it be detected early? So,
In
Professor,
Malaysia,
please.
we have under Ministry of Health, the one that I showed you in the slide, under only for disease control, but it's actually under the big division also family health. So under family health, they have programs, to look for the antenatal screening, the care for the pregnant mothers as well as for the neonatal, and maternal care. It has been fully established in Malaysia since 1957, and all the screening, whether they have some of those underlying disease, hypertension, diabetes, whatever, to be done during their antenatal visit. Usually they will be screened, for the possible gestational, or perhaps they have all those diabetes, before that, and then they will be treated accordingly. And I should say that we don't have any issues unless for those individuals who did not attend for the antenatal checkup. So those who attending all those antenatal at the frequent or whatever interval recommended, usually the issue has been taken care well.
Thank you, Professor. So still, once again, we should to get screening first to prevent the disease. Anyone have a question again? There is a question. Question in the chat box, or you can raise your hand. We still have 10 minutes to discussion. There is a question. Okay, Professor, since there are no questions from the audience at the moment, please allow me as a moderator to begin with a question. How significant is the role of digital health, AI, and big data in shaping future epidemiological approach for NCD prevention and control?
Okay. Basically, for information, to give you a background, we have a significant numbers of our clinics that provide the primary health care that has already been digitalized. So that in that clinic, particularly all those appointment, their treatment, as well as the assignment of whatever doctors, have been done digitally, and on top of that, they don't need, all those hard copies, to be, and then when they are going to be referred, to somewhere else, some of those information, can be transferred. They have a cloud system, if I'm not mistaken, and it also with all those AI, all those data can be captured automatically. No need some of the stuff, to write. In Malaysia, we call it as written, all the sensors that we need to report weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, and then 6 monthly. I don't know in Indonesia what will be the system, but in Malaysia, we have to report, from the clinic to the district, and then district to the state, and then state to the ministry to get for all those data. So with this kind of the embracing of the new technology and big data analysis, some of the data can be automatically to screen, and we can shift towards all those unnecessary data key in to the automated and then it provide all the data for surveillance from time to time. And on top of that, it gives us also as some ideas, with the sharing, from AI. But AI, I hope that you can be cautious, you need to verify with some of those available verified references. And sometimes AI can hallucinate, deviate, some of the information. So it helps us in some of those, functions. But most of the time, we ourselves need to decide which one will be the better for us to follow. In terms of management, I think you are the boss, not AI. So you should not listen to AI. In terms of analysis, you utilize your time during your postgraduate or during your study to make yourself competent, so that you understand that whatever statistics that are being done must have a reasons, and the results, how you are going to interpret according to the research question or whatever you have, on the ground, so that you do not provide some of those falsified data or something which is not relevant, or it is not strong enough for you to provide some of the proof to get for the new policy and whatnot. So I think a lot of opportunity actually if you can have some of those digital information, because nowadays it gives us some of those important insight, on how it should be conducted as well as for the future. But it depends on the availability of the technology. I don't think that it is a must. The must is that for us to be competent, that's all. If someone, this is my insight, if someone not competent, you offer whatever technology, it will be useless. So we ourselves, should dictate the technology, how it can benefit us. And then for public, perhaps the one that should benefit is the community.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor, for the comprehensive answer. What a lovely session we have today. Before we end this discussion, Professor, as I said before, I ask you which question that you consider the best from these 4 questions here.
One. I think number 1.
Number 1 from Miss Nisa. Yeah, congratulations, Miss Nisa. Our committee will contact you for the gift. Thank you for your answer and your question.
Pray for all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. On behalf of everyone here, the faculty, student, and the organizing team, I would like to sincerely thank Associate Professor Dr. Malina Osman, MD MCOM, for once again sharing not only her knowledge but also her warmth and energy with us. Before we, I'm so sorry. At the end of this session, we would like to express our sincere appreciation our professor sharing her valuable insight and expertise with us. As token of our gratitude, we are honored to present this certificate of appreciation to our distinguished guest speaker. This certificate symbolizes our recognition of her contribution to intrinsic knowledge, inspiring our student and certain academic collaboration between institutions. So, Professor, we want to document this certification. So the committee, please take a picture with the 3, 2, and 1. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
very
you very much, Professor. Professor, your insight have inspired us deeply, especially those who are just starting their journey in epidemiology. We truly appreciate your willingness to be part of academic life here at Diponegoro University. To close this valuable session on epidemiology approach on chronic disease control update, we would greatly appreciate a few final words from you, Professor.
Okay, thank you very much. I sincerely would like to thank again for the organizing committee, Dr. Martini, and all of you who have, spent your time, listen, as well as sharing some of your thought with us. I myself, when I was at young, I do not know actually what is community health, but when my exposure in the community, I found that this is the most beloved and near to my heart. And when we look into detail, public health without epidemiology is like us without a heart. So the epidemiology is actually a heart for the running as well as ensure all those program on the field can be done successfully. And on top of that, I also learned that dealing with community require some of your love and patience towards the community. You cannot do some of those work without your love to community. So number one, the priority that you should spend with your love to the community, and then be humble and let inshallah you just tawakal to Allah Ta'ala to help you in whatever you are going to embark in future. I wish you best of luck and hope that we can meet some other days, and I welcome you to UPM. If I have some opportunity, I also will visit you in Diponegoro, inshallah. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor. We hope this won't be the last time we meet. May this lecture mark the beginning of our future collaboration, joint research, and strong academic ties between University Putra Malaysia and Diponegoro University. As we close the decision, please allow me to share one final pantun again. Burung merpati terbang melayang, hinggap sejenak di dahan randu. Ilmu hari ini jadi kenang-kenangan. Sampai jumpa, semoga kita bertemu lagi waktu yang tak terlalu rindu.
Saya bagi pantun nanti masa you all datang atau saya pergi.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor. I will
Sempat nak buat pantun.
waiting for pantun. And once again, Professor, thank you so much. If you have any activity, you may leave this room. And if you want to,
I would like to apologize. I forgot this now. If I, my words, whatever, which is not comfortable among you, I would like to apologize. Or I talk too fast, and I myself very much thankful to all of you giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much. Inshallah, we'll meet again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
So I can leave.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you very much.
See you in Malaysia. Thank you so much, Professor. Now, before we officially end, please allow me to take a moment to bid farewell as your moderator over this past days. It has been a true honor and privilege to guide our session and learn alongside all of you. So everyone here, thank you for your participation, your attention, and your great questions. Let's keep the spirit of learning alive, and let's meet again soon with the same passion and even more curiosity. Take care, everyone. Have a beautiful day ahead. I hand the event back to the MC. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All right. Before that, I want to remind the participants who haven't filled the attendance form yet, please fill the link that will be shared by the committee in charge in the chat room. Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Miftahur Rahima, for leading the previous session. And thank you, Professor Malina, for the insightful lecture.
All right, and now we are going to move to the next session. But before that,
Congratulations to the most active participants! Yay!
all right. Congratulations once again to Miss Muflihatun Nisa for being the most active participant during the Q&A session.
All right, our committee will reach out to you shortly to deliver your prize after this session. So please stay tuned for further information.
That's right, Nabila. Because we have gained such valuable insights that related to epidemiology approach on chronic disease control update from our amazing speaker, and we truly believe that today's session has enriched our understanding significantly.
Okay, on behalf of everyone here, we would like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to Associate Professor Dr. Malina Osman, Bachelor of Science in Medicine, Doctor of Medicine, Master of Community Health for delivering such a clear and eye-opening presentation. And of course, our sincere thanks also go to Ms. Miftahur Rahimah, Bachelor of Public Health, Master of Epidemiology for skillfully moderating the session and guiding us through the smooth and engaging discussion.
That's right, Nabila. And now, before we move on, we would like to present a certificate of appreciation to our moderator, Ms. Miftah Rahimah, for her contribution in today's event. And for the committee in charge, please share the certificate. Okay, Ms. Miftah Rahimah, I can see that you already turned on your camera, and please give us your best pose so we can capture this moment together. Okay, the documentation, I will count in 3, 2, 1. Smile. Once again, smile. All right, thank you very much once again to Ms. Miftahur Rahimah, and let's give both of our speaker and also our moderator another round of applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss MC. So beautiful.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. All right, everyone, we hope you have enjoyed and gained valuable insights from the previous session. Now it's time for an interactive quiz.
Wow.
To test your understanding of the material presented earlier.
That's right, Nabila, because this quiz will be fun and engaging, of course. To join, all the participants can scan the barcode that displayed on the screen later, or you can click the quiz link that will be shared in the room chat by our committee to enter the quiz room.
Okay, we will wait for maybe around 3 minutes to allow everyone to join the quiz room. So please take this time to enter the room and get ready. Okay?
Okay, and once all the participants have successfully entered the quiz room, our committee will officially start the quiz. So make sure you're ready.
Okay. Remember, the two participants with the highest scores and fastest response will be declared as the winners.
That's right. And of course, the winners will receive the door prizes from our committee. So give it your best shot and enjoy the challenge. Okay, you can see that we already shared the screen of the quiz room. You can enter the quiz room by joining the quiz and fill out the code, or you can click the quiz link in the room chat that displayed by our committee. Let's go join to our quiz. Come on, come on, come on.
Oh, there are
Okay.
6 participants here.
6 participants. Who are there,
Mm.
Nabila? We can see that they are Sumaya, Benaya, Shifauzi, and what's next?
Hanifah, Tutik, Nisa, Nazma, Cecil, Elvin, Alia, thank you very much for joining this quiz.
Yes, we can see that they already 10 participants. They're already in the quiz room. Let's go for other participants. Join the quiz by
Okay.
click the link or type the code. Yeah, in the Wayground website, right, Nabila?
Yes.
Okay.
Can wait. Okay, let's
Can
go.
wait. Okay, we can see that already 11 participants right now. Let's go for the participants that not have joined. Just click the quiz link in the room chat by our committee. Let's go, let's go. I'm I can wait for know who is the winner in this
Yes.
quiz, Nabila. Okay.
Ooh,
I can
so
wait.
exciting.
It's so excited. Already 11 participants right now. We still wait for another participants. And of course, they can customize their Outfit. Yes, the outfit in this quiz. You can also be outfitable in this quiz, not just in real life. Yes, Nabila.
Yes.
These are already 12 participants.
Yeah. So choose your
Best
best outfit or your
outfit.
favorite outfit in this
Yes, because if
quizzes.
you win to be the top winner, your outfit will be displayed on the screen, right, Nabila?
Yeah.
Give your best shot and also your best outfit.
Yes. Top two,
The
right?
top two, right? Top two winners for this quiz. Okay, we can see that it's already 13 participants. We still wait for another participants to join. Let's go, let's go.
All right, everyone. So we will wait for at least 20 participants to join this quiz room, okay?
Okay, let's join the quiz and you will win the door prizes. Let's go. 14 participants, they're already in the room. We still wait for another participants, right, Nabila?
Yes.
Okay, you can click the quiz link in the room chat.
Mm.
Mhm.
What is the door prize anyway?
What is the door prize? I think you need to win first to know what is the door prize, yeah,
Yeah.
Nabila.
Okay. Just do your best.
Just do your best and give your best outfits.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we will start it the quiz time. Maybe 1 minute left. Yeah.
Yes, on 11 and 30. Don't forget to join by click the link on the room chat or you can type the code on the website.
All right, Tika. It seems like yeah, maybe around 70 participants have already joined
Oh
the
yes.
quiz room. So
Yeah.
maybe we
We
will
can start the quiz. So to the committee in charge, please begin the quiz. Good luck, everyone.
participants, 1 minute left. The quiz will be over.
Okay,
So get in rush.
yes, on 11:45.
Yes. Oh,
It's actually 11:45 right now, so I think the quiz is already done. Okay. All right,
right.
everyone, the quiz are done and the results are in, and we can now see the winners that displayed on the screen.
Oh, it's exciting to announce that the two winners of the quiz are
Ding, 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 ding.
Hanifa and Shifauzi. Congratulations.
Okay. Okay. And let's not forget our previous winners in the Q&A session, which is Miss Muflihatun Nisa. And in addition, all of these participants have done an outstanding job for today.
That's right. So to claim your door prizes, we kindly ask all three winners. The first one from Q&A session and the second one from the quiz. Okay, to contact our committee through the phone number that will be shared in the room chat shortly. Okay, let's give another round of virtual applause to all our winners.
Yay!
Congratulations!
Okay, all right, everyone. Unfortunately, we are approaching the closing of today's event,
Yeah.
Nabila. But before we officially conclude, we kindly ask all the participants to fill out the evaluation form for this session because your feedback is very important and will help us to improve the next event.
Okay, the link to the evaluation form will be shared in the room chat shortly. So please take a few moments to complete it.
And we will allow you 3 minutes for everyone to fill out the form. So let's take this time to provide your valuable feedback. 3 minutes from now.
Kumis Mas Adam to feel like it was yesterday, but I did, no, cause giving up was never for me. All that I got was my destiny. They say it's luck, but behind the scenes I've been telling myself, why does the music got me singing something beautiful, beautiful? I've been feeling and believing all the miracles, miracles. Feeling superstitious, superstitious, superstitious. Feeling superstitious, superstitious, superstitious. Yeah. Just for a minute, I let my guard down, my intuition. It's talking out loud, it's automatic. I'm finding the good and the bad in between. Oh no, cause giving up's never for me. All that I got's my destiny. They say it's love, and now behind the scenes I've been telling myself, why does the music got me singing something beautiful, beautiful?
All right, I think everyone has already filled out the evaluation link.
So before we close the session, we want to clarification for the quiz winner to be Miss Shifa and Miss Benaya, because the previous winner entered the quiz twice. So once again, congratulations to the winner.
Yes. Congratulations, and to the winner, don't forget to contact our committee to claim your door prizes. And now, what do we have next, Nabila?
Okay, as we come to the close of today's online session, Tika, we would like to extend our deepest appreciation to everyone who made this event possible. And our sincere gratitude goes to Associate Professor Dr. Malina Osman, Bachelor of Science in Medicine, Doctor of Medicine, Master of Community Health, for delivering such an enlightening session, right? And to our moderator, Ms. Miftahur Rahimah, Bachelor of Public Health, Master of Epidemiology, for guiding the discussion with such professionalism.
That's right, Nabila. And we are also grateful to all of the academic staff, participants, and our team who joined this meaningful session through online. We hope today's lecture has enriched our knowledge and deepened our understanding of critical issues in epidemiology. And we're looking forward to see you again in the next Visiting Professors program.
I'm Nabila.
And I'm Tika.
Thank you very much for joining us today. Wishing you a pleasant day ahead. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you soon and goodbye. Wow.
Universitas Diponegoro, Undip, a renowned institution of higher education in Indonesia. Established in 1957, Undip is committed to driving innovation and transforming education. Quacquarelli Simons World University Rankings recognizes Undip as the world's best campus, ranked 721 to 730.
As an international world-class research university, Undip creates globally competitive graduates with access excellent global competence. Undip also committed to continuously improve the quality of human resources by international standard capacity development programs. We also provide the excellent research quality and the advanced innovation to empower society.
UNDIP is the ideal place to build an international network, offering programs equipped with cutting-edge technology and world-class facilities. It is the right choice for pursuing higher education. UNDIP ranked 7th as the best university in Indonesia and between 301st and 400th in the world, according to the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings. Based on the QS Asia University Rankings, UNDIP is ranked 31st as the best university in Southeast Asia. UNDIP has succeeded in producing the best work-ready graduates in Indonesia based on the QS Graduate Employability Rankings, and has become a green campus that has succeeded in reducing emissions and implementing a green living pattern, so that it has achieved 2nd place in the UI Green Metric World University Rankings. UNDIP was named a sustainable campus with a national ranking of 8th based on the QS World University Rankings 2025. UNDIP ranked 4th in Indonesia based on the EduRank, and UNDIP is in 4th position in Indonesia based on UniRank. Regarding the assessment of the impact of website content and research publications, UNDIP is in 4th position in Indonesia according to Webometrics. Based on the Alper-Dogger Scientific Index, UNDIP is ranked 2nd in Indonesia and ranked 3rd in Indonesia based on Skimago Institutions rankings. The Faculty of Law is one of Indonesia's best and most prestigious law schools. Nationally accredited A for all study programs, and also internationally accredited by FIBAA for Bachelor and Master of Law. The Faculty of Economics and Business equips students with the skills needed for the professional world, such as financial analysis, management, marketing, and entrepreneurship. All study programs have received superior accreditation from the National Accreditation Board for Higher Education. Even 8 study programs have been internationally accredited by FIBAA. The Faculty of Engineering has been declared to be the organizer of study programs with a good occupational safety and health management system in Indonesia. This faculty produces various research and innovation in the fields of energy, artificial intelligence, to sustainable future that benefits the community. The Faculty of Medicine offers study programs from general medicine, profession to specialist level, affiliated with Diponegoro National Hospital and Dr. Karyadi Semarang in supporting all levels of medical education. We have a Diponegoro Medical Simulation Center, one of the technologies that is used to evaluate medical students, as well as solutions to problems in medical practice. The Faculty of Animal and Agriculture Science strives to strengthen the livestock and agricultural sectors, creating sustainable solutions for food supply. The Animal Science Food Technology and Agribusiness Study Program has received international accreditation from ASIIN. This will increase student opportunities to access cutting-edge research and networking. The Faculty of Humanities has become an internationally reputable faculty through FIBAA accredited for literature, history, and linguistics study programs. UNDIP also supports student activities related to culture as the national identity of Indonesia. Faculty of Social and Political Sciences opens international programs, including summer course activities, world-class university webinars to international conferences. This faculty organizes the International Undergraduate Program for undergraduates in Public Administration, Government Science, Communication Science, and Business Administration. The Faculty of Public Health, through its Superior Accredited Program, organizes undergraduate, master, and doctoral programs. Of course, this aims to support the government in realizing a healthy generation of the nation. The Faculty of Psychology has consistently become the center for the development of Indonesian family-based psychology that is adaptive to changing times in Southeast Asia. The undergraduate psychology program has successfully achieved superior accreditation and is internationally recognized through FIBAA. Faculty of Fisheries and Marine Sciences, with modern laboratories and complete research facilities. This faculty becomes a place for academics, researchers, and students to contribute to the development of marine science in Indonesia. The Aquaculture Study Program officially became the first study program in this faculty to receive ASEAN International Accreditation. This study program is aligned with Level 6 of the European Qualifications Framework for Lifelong Learning. Faculty of Science and Mathematics, committed to the development of science and technology that is not only oriented towards academic progress, but also towards innovative solutions, providing real impacts to society. Our popular innovations such as nano-ozone technology, nano-silica fertilizer, BioSmart, and SafeBus are real solutions in facing the dynamics of knowledge. Vocational school prepares students' career prospects by implementing project-based learning as the main learning method. The competence of vocational graduates is very influential, along with the increasing demand for skilled workers by domestic and foreign industries. Postgraduate school offers doctoral and master's programs in the health sector, communication science, humanities, and environmental sectors. Undip Postgraduate School builds strong partnerships with various institutions, opening opportunities for students to conduct collaborative research, internships, or continue their studies to a higher level. Undip's extensive campus network, encompassing Semarang, Rembang, Jepara, Batang, and Pekalongan, provides students with unique opportunities to learn and grow in various regional contexts. Undip also opens international education programs, such as the International Undergraduate Program, Undip Scholarship Program, and Diponegoro Exchange Experience Program. This will provide the widest possible opportunity for national and international students to hone their intellectualism, a foreign language. Undip provides excellent facilities to support student learning. Cutting-edge libraries and high-tech laboratories fuel intellectual exploration and academic achievement. Good national standard sports facilities, including sports fields and fitness centers, can encourage students to live a healthy and active life. Creative spaces, including music studios, art rooms, and theaters, inspire artistic expression and innovation. Advanced research facilities, including advanced laboratories and cutting-edge technology, drive groundbreaking discoveries and solutions. Not only focusing on the intellectual, the potential and talents of students are also developed at Undip. Undip students consistently demonstrate academic and non-academic excellence at the international level. Undip collaborates on research, resources, and technology in an effort to provide solutions to society and nature. By providing the right facilities and support, community service programs with independent coaching methods can create a significant impact on society. Undip has established strong partnerships with numerous universities around the world. making it a sought-after destination for academics and researchers. We believe that education is the key to a brighter future. With a relevant curriculum and highly qualified faculty, Undip is committed to providing a high-quality education that prepares graduates for the dynamic job market.
Join Universitas Diponegoro to evolve together to support the better world in the future.